originally from Colombia, South America, and I am the Secretary for Education of the Society worldwide, especially secondary and pre-secondary education.
What are your earliest memories about your family?
My early memories about my family, well, there are many memories, but I grew up in a family of 4. I am the youngest in my family, and I have very good memories of my childhood. I went to the Jesuit school since kindergarten to high school, and the same high school that my father went and my brothers went to. So I have really very good memories of that time.
What is your best memory?
The best moments, well, I will say that probably being in the school. I really enjoy the many activities that we had in the school, the many possibilities that we had, the good companionship among us, and also the good relationship that we had with the Jesuits in the school.
Could you share some of your experience in your school as a student?
Some of my experiences, well, I think that in the school they really invited us from the beginning to really be men and women for others. So since I was a child, a small child in the school, they provided us with many opportunities to meet people who were in need, people who were in the margins of society, and to help them, and also to understand that they were as brothers to us as we were to them, and that we were all together. So I am very grateful for those opportunities, and I have very good memories of those moments.
And narrating your vocation story?
My vocation. Well, as I told you, I studied in the Jesuit school, and I always admired the Jesuits for the way they work in the school, the way they were teaching, and I think that all of that at one point helped me to see that that is the kind of life that I wanted to have for myself. And when I considered that possibility, I was really very happy.
The current field of apostolate as a Jesuit?
So my current field as a Jesuit, again, I am the Secretary for Education of the Society worldwide. So my responsibility is to coordinate the Jesuit schools in the world so that we can really develop our universal potential and that we all can serve together to the same goals. I am also teaching at Loyola University Chicago, so I am also doing that. I teach some classes on philosophy of education and Jesuit education.
So your education background is philosophy?
My education background, I have a master's degree program in psychology of education and a PhD program in philosophy of education.
What do you think is the role of a student or parent or school and society to make the world a better place?
I think that the main challenge for any human being, and also for students and parents, is to really become themselves good human beings, because that's the only way we can accomplish what we want. Jesuit education wants to invite all the students and family to understand that the best education that you can receive is to become a good human being, a loving human being, a lovable human being. And for that, the only way we can do that is to become ourselves that kind of person. So that is our invitation, and that is what I think it is important for families and students to understand.
How can we reduce the conflicts between the ideas between the teachers and students?
Well, conflicts between human beings, there will always be. But I think that the important thing is that we can always talk together, that we can dialogue, and that we can discover why we don't agree, and we can discover and really come out with ways in which we can both understand that we are all aiming to the same goals, and that if we work together and we are able to meet our present needs, we will be better off together. So I think that for students and teachers, they need to understand that even though sometimes they have different roles, we are all aiming to the same goals, is that we can all become better human beings, that we can open ourselves to to God and to the religious experience, and understand that all of this makes us better for others, especially better for those who are in the margins of society.
Have you ever been interested in teaching?
I had always been in teaching. I had always been teaching. I am still teaching at Loyola University, but I had been also teaching in Jesuit school for many years.
As a Jesuit institution, in what area should we focus on besides academics?
Well, we really aim to the education of the whole person. So academics is very important, and it's a hallmark of Jesuit education, and we really invite our students to strive to be excellent academically. But academic excellence is not enough, because to really become a good human being, a human being at the service of others, becoming a man or a woman for others, really requires many other aspects that are really important. That you understand the world, that you can be critical of the world, that you develop a good heart, that you become a good citizen, in this case of Nepal, but also a good citizen of the world. So we really strive for an education of the whole person, that you can develop your mind, but you can also develop your body, that you can develop your hand, that you can develop your heart, all your soul, that you can really become also a religious person that can understand that God is always among us, helping us to be better. So I think that is what we try to do in Jesuit education.
So you have a strong belief in God?
I have a strong belief of God as a Jesuit, and I really believe that God can help us to be better in our lives.
Father, you are always in academics and in other fields, you're really interested.
What is that?
You're always interested in academics as well as other fields, becoming a
Yes, I am very interested in academic field, because as I said before, academic is very important for human life, but it's never enough. So we need to be, of course, develop that academic potential, but also to develop all the potential, all the gifts that we have as human beings at the service of others.
What are your interests?
Other interests that I have, well, I like philosophy, is very important for me, it's my field. I also like history a lot, it's very important. I also enjoy a good movie. I also enjoy a good conversation with friends. I also enjoy meeting other people from different backgrounds and discovering our common ground together. Fortunately, I like to travel, because I have to travel a lot in my present job. So I go to many different places, I go to many different continents constantly. So yes, that's part of what I do.
Okay, then what would be your favorite culture or something that you like to when you travel?
Well, that's difficult. I love my country and my culture. Again, I am from Colombia. I love my country, I love my culture. I really feel very Colombian in that sense, but I have enjoyed many other cultures. I have lived for many years in the US, and I also recognize and value the American cultures, but I have been in many other places, and I always find that cultures are different ways to be humans, and cultures are different ways to invite us to be the best of ourselves.
And what is your interest in your work?
My interest in my work is, again, as a secretary, I am trying to tell the Jesuit schools in the world, including the students, parents, faculty, Jesuits, and other collaborators in our schools, other partners in our schools, that if we work together, we have this incredible international potential, global potential. We are present in more than 50 countries. We reach thousands of people from all different backgrounds, religious, culturally, and if we work together, I think that we together can make the world a better place for all.
So the best part about your work, you think, is trying to transform others?
I think that is inviting others to be transformed together, and that means also inviting myself to be transformed by the experience but I think that that is a beautiful gift and a beautiful opportunity that I have in this job.
Then as a Jesuit institution, what area should we focus on besides academics?
So as I said before, besides academic, the Jesuit institution should be focusing in developing the whole person. So that will provide many activities so that the students can develop their social skills, their cultural skills, their sport skills, their human skills, that they can really understand that they need to become persons of compassion, persons of commitment, persons of conscience, and persons of competence for others, that we are all together called to develop our full potential and see the development of that full potential to the service of others.
How to strike a balance between academics and other aspects of life, as there is a lot of pressure of achievement?
Yes, I think that every person needs to find the balance, because in each person is a little bit different. For some people, academic excellence is easy to achieve, and they don't have to, so it's easy for them to balance that with other aspects. For other people, that academic excellence that is very important, it requires more energy, it requires organizations, it requires discipline to be able to accomplish it. It requires to be sure that you always find time, yes, for academics, but also for other important aspects of human beings. We want our students to become really balanced people, no monsters with big heads only. We want them to have big heads for sure, but also big hearts, and to be able to develop their full potential.
Do you think that hard work could overcome talent?
Hard work can
Overcome the talent?
Hard work is important, and is of course, because nothing is really accomplished without hard work. And anything great in life will require hard work, a big effort, but especially I think generosity and especially love. If you don't love what you do, if you don't love your profession, if you don't love studying, it will be very difficult for you to accomplish anything. Because more than great will, you require great love to accomplish anything in life.
How do you find Nepal?
So far, I have been in Nepal for a week, and I find it a fascinating country. It's a country that many people want to come for the beautiful landscape that you have, for the beautiful mountains that you have, for the beautiful places. But I think it's not only the beautiful places and the landscape. I have seen wonderful people here, very generous, very willing to embrace our values, to really develop their full potential, to acknowledge that there are not only citizens of Nepal, but citizens of the world. So I find it very fascinating. I like the food that you have here also, so I think it's a beautiful, the dancing that you offer to us recently were also very beautiful. So I see very talented people that require also to be very generous. I also see a country with big challenges. The level of poverty that you have here will require big talents, and it will require a lot of generosity, political determination to change that, and to make sure that all Nepalese can benefit from all the opportunities that modernity has to offer to all of us.